Hi everyone. So I know it's late, but my kids are sleeping, so I thought I would do this in a quiet environment. But I wanted to update you guys about the virtual Harvard University Education Conference. I attended the conference and there were some interesting takeaways. You know how they say doctors should wear their sponsors on their lab coat? Same thing can apply for education. So as people presented, you could tell what side of the fence they were on and based on, what they were saying and how they were saying it and what they were pushing. But the biggest takeaways were they referred to private education coming in as a tsunami. They said that micro schools were very sustainable. There's so much growth. Also, the charter schools are expanding. It almost seems like they want to replace some of the public school sector with charter schools, but I think you're just substituting same poop, different pile, we'll say. I do like what they were saying, all the positive things about micro schools. Big thing that's coming though is tuition. Strangely enough, they were talking about giving tuition to those that were financially more affluent, and not the full pop that they would typically give to public school. So about half the amount, but it wasn't enough, they said, to tempt them to take on, because the expectation is nobody gives money for free. So you have to do the standardized test to receive the funding. Now, I don't think that is enough incentive to lure those that are more affluent. But for those that are, it's tough economic times, I do think it is worth considering. And I know some people are really flat out don't want to consider it. But think about this. Because of this situation, it is a great starting point. Low socioeconomic areas could really expand their private education options. There are a lot of micro schools that are ready to take the next step. They're ready to expand their options, their offerings, and it would be great for them to have that opportunity and to reach more kids in lower socioeconomic areas. Now, in terms of them doing standardized tests, would that suck? Absolutely. Do I think it's necessary? No. But it will show improvement no matter what. It's not like the competition is a challenge to rise above the bare minimum. We can really raise the bar, and it would actually force the public sector to raise the bar, because competition doesn't have to be a bad thing. They should be raising the bar. It's just so gosh darn low. And as things progress, we will be able to move to a place where it's more self-sustainable, and those that are in a lower socioeconomic space will be able to rebuild, and they won't need it anymore. And then they won't have to engage in all that. One thing they said was it was impossible to start a new system. I don't want to say system, but we could definitely, there's space for new ecosystems. It is possible. The problem is they want control, so they won't be as receptive to that idea. Now, I did ask an upper level executive if it was possible to reform the education system. And they said something pretty funny. They said, absolutely, you just have to fire everyone. So clearly that's not going to happen, but they will be phasing it in. So as the staffing shortages start to become more apparent, and the weight gets placed more and more on the staff that do choose to stay, even those lights in the darkness are only going to be able to take so much, because they're going to be moving kids around. If there's too much of a staff shortage, it becomes a safety issue. Inconsistencies with the children means you're going to have an increase in behaviors, and then it's just going to have a big compounding effect. And we'll start to see it trickle forward. And parents will have to fill in the gaps. But not to worry. So I actually, when it came to talk about parents, I heard two different perspectives, which one, they talked about parent empowerment, which I thought was great. Obviously, all parents should be empowered, and educators, everyone should be working together for the benefit of the children. One person at the conference made reference to the parents as locusts. I was appalled. I was like, oh my goodness, you have to work with the parents. These children are their legacy. Of course they're going to be involved. Parents are like the mafia. Quite frankly, they should be. They should be engaged with their children. They should be involved. And educators should be receptive to, feedback. And there should be open dialogue between both. And everyone should be, understanding and receptive. And so, to have that conversation so the behavior of kids improves. Because it will continue to deteriorate with the inconsistencies. Children need consistency. That is the only way their behavior will improve and situations will improve on the broader landscape. So on the positive, I am really excited where everything is going in education. It is going to take a dip, but it's going to come back up, and it's going to be better than anything we've ever seen. So hold on to your hats, be patient, and know that we have a network of educators that love your kids and want to be a part of the conversation with you and are here and ready for it. We'll see how things evolve, but looks like education reform is upon us, and I think I covered everything in my notes. And I don't know if charter schools will hit Canada, but the tuition is definitely coming. So for those that are struggling, don't worry, hope is on the horizon, and be open to starting a private school or private education options. If you are interested but don't necessarily have the full means, why don't you take one day off of public school, like a Friday, and go enjoy a forest school, go enjoy an alternative education option, go enjoy anything. If you are able, of course, people work. But if you have a friend, for example, who is maybe working from home and has some flexibility, maybe they can do something and just nurture the child's soul so they don't feel they're stuck, because there's a lot of bullying in schools right now. And there's so many little things you could do to improve, and also barter. Be open to bartering your kids' education and offering your services. We have a lot of talented parents as well as educators, so contribute, and look forward to seeing you guys around. Have a great night, and keep your ears open, and things are coming. Have a good one. Bye. Hi, Gina.